Dirt Track Digest here with Chris Moore. We're on our second take for the evening because I think the batteries died in the mic beforehand. So we're going to do it again.
Not the camera this time,
The
right?
camera's good. I think the batteries died in the mic. But anyway, we're here recapping the 5/8 finale at Bridgeport Speedway. And, like we said, he used to be a track legger. He wasn't this year. But he's been for a lot of years, and Rick Laubach came home with the win tonight, and that seemed pretty fitting.
Yeah, Rick, he said it. He loves this place. This is his favorite track to race. It's where he learned to race. It's where he grew up racing, so it was very fitting. 52 wins now. 52 wins. He's fifth on the all-time wins list, and 5/8 wins list now is all set and complete. But it was definitely cool to see somebody like Rick. You don't root for anybody, but there were certain things, that you'd have been happy to see. And Rick, with everything that's gone on in his personal life the past couple of years, he was fitting and deserving, and he drove a great race, and he earned it tonight for sure. Starting ninth, so he earned it.
Yes, he sure did, and you could tell when he got out of the car, he was pretty emotional. He was happy, sort of some redemption for himself. Everybody knows the issues happened last year, and they're all behind us now. And but it felt good for Rick to get a win here, and I know it means something to him.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's always fun to see the guys get out of the car, and it really, really matters to them. When Ryan Watt wins a regular Saturday night race here, he's glad to win, but there's not that real raw emotion, excitement, like watching Stu at Eldora or Phoenix. When he gets out of some of the dirt car wins, it's like woo. When he won at Phoenix, it was like. And Rick's kind of the point. He's won enough to where they're not all like they were tonight. But he said in Victory Lane it was probably the biggest win of his career, and so it's always cool to see a guy win and it mean that much to him, and it obviously meant a lot to him, and it was cool to be a part of, and like I said, just cool to see him and a Bridgeport guy, whether he was a regular this year or not, he's a Bridgeport guy, and he won our finale. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. And, Rick's mom passed away a couple weeks ago, and his dad was here today.
Yeah.
And that was the first time his dad's been at the track in a while, so it's good for Rick. So, heartbreak for Jeff Strunk.
Kind of. I mean, he finished.
He finished second, but, Jeff was looking for that first win here on the 5/8 mile. He's got 2 3/8 wins, but he's never won on the 5/8. I'm talking to Jeff before the races. I know he was pretty stoked, and he had a fast hot rod, and he just couldn't quite get it done, and the motor soured right at the start-finish line.
Yeah, I actually just went back and talked to him, and he was bummed. He said it was one of them deals. He said we had a really good car, and sometimes just nothing you can do about it. He said he had no clue. I mean, it was smoking for the last 12 laps about. He said he had no inclination. He didn't get wet. The gauges were fine. No lights came on. Nothing. He said the last 2 or 3 laps he saw a little bit of smoke, and that was all. That was his only clue of anything. And he said he shut it off after across the start-finish line, and that's when she went. So we talked, there was a yellow with 5 to go, and I thought that's when it was going to go, because a lot of times you see that, especially if it's overheating, once you slow down, it really goes up. But it subsided, and it held on just long enough for him to bring home second. I know he wanted one better. And he was one of the stories you kind of would have liked to see, obviously, because he has such a great career. It would have been his first big block win on the big track. So it would have been one of those cool things to see. But second, I'm sure, they'll take it. But obviously everybody wants to do one better. So,
and finishing third, we had a surprise visitor today, Mike Maresca, and it was good to see Mike make the charge up here from Charlotte. He said he got here about 5 in the morning. His girlfriend made him sleep on the floor so the dog could sleep on the bed. But other than that, he said it wasn't a bad trip up here. But he was excited. He saw it on the website last night. He originally thought the 5/8 final was Saturday night, and when he saw it was tonight, he said, "Let's go."
Yeah.
He said, "We'll stop in, we'll buy some American racers and bolt them on, and here we are." And get a third place finish out of a track that he hardly has any laps on at all, against some of the best drivers out here.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing feat.
I mean, he beat Ryan Watt and Billy Pouch tonight, and they've been the 2 guys all year. Yeah, he said it didn't make any sense not to. It's on the way home. We'll buy some American racers. We'll slap them on, and we'll go racing. Especially this time of year, the guys that really want to race, you're running out of races. So until we get into old man winter and we don't have them anymore. So it was cool to see him here. I was hoping he brought some other guys, would bring up some other guys from Charlotte. But he was fun to watch from 13th to 3rd, and I thought maybe as it went along, track would slick off a little bit and he would be even better, because New York guys are very good on slick tracks. So I thought maybe he would even come a little bit more forward, but the track held its bite, and Rick and Strunk were pretty well clear of him for third. But like I said, he held off Watt and Pouch, and that is no small feat at this place for sure.
Absolutely not, and he was very happy with the third place finish, and he's looking forward to coming back here next year on the. He was glad to come here for the 5/8 finale, and he's looking forward to coming back next year for the opener.
Yeah, I think a smaller track is going to be good as far as getting some of the New York guys down. That's what they're used to. For the most part, you have your bigger tracks like Middletown up there and Oswego 5/8 and everything. Not that they run there weekly, but that's one of the places that they go. So a smaller track might be more appealing to some New York guys to get them to come down. March 28th and 29th, the Kingdom of Speed Weekend 100, 40 laps on. I think it's a Friday. It's a Saturday, Sunday. So 40 laps on Saturday, 60 laps on Sunday. So I'm very excited for it. Obviously, sad to see the 5/8 go, as we all are. But when one door closes, another one opens, and so we've still got a racetrack here. And if Doug does anything close to what he said, it's going to be a damn good one. So.
Absolutely, and the two track kingpins, the hot dogs, Ryan Watt and Billy Pouch, both finished 4th and 5th. Both made pit stops. Ryan had a flat tire, and I thought Billy did too, but you said he just wanted to change tires. So, but they both came back to get 4th to 5th. But that's about all they were tonight. 4th, 5th place cars.
Yeah, Ryan. Ryan's used to being the best car here, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it was a tire selection or if it was a gear thing. I don't know what the case might have been. But for whatever reason, Ryan was just a tick off of his normal pace. And Billy said they went with a hard tire, and the track was too tacky for the hard tire. So they went in, I think it was on lap 18, was the yellow where he went in to change to a softer tire. And he said we were riding 4th or 5th, and we weren't going to win the way we were going, and I wanted to win. So we pit to change the tire. And he got back to 5th, but he said it was just a little bit... just wasn't their night, for whatever reason. They didn't have quite their normal stuff, and it's harder to win on these nights than it is on regular Saturday nights. When Strunk and Van Doren and Laubach and Horton are all here, it's tougher, and Maresca, and so obviously I would still 9 times out of 10 I'm still going to put my money on those two guys at this place, but not tonight. Scooby Strunk and Mike Maresca had them covered. So,
and attrition played into tonight a lot. Of we had guys, I think when he had 10 cars finish the race at a 24, 26. But so it was, for me personally, I was hoping Jimmy Horton have a good run. He's been the face of this track for many, many years, and he unfortunately got in a wreck over there and ended his night. But attrition played into some of it, but all in all, it was a pretty good night. Yeah, I mean, we saw 3 guys pop it. Hendrickson had the problem. I believe it was overheating, is my guess, because when he went back to the pits under yellow the first time, apparently they had the hood off. So my guess, I would guess overheating. I could be wrong. But so Wade dropped out. Van Doren dropped out somewhere around lap 25, 30, running in the top 5. Stangl was running in the top 10. He dropped out, and then Jimmy Horton had gotten up as high as 5th, and he crashed. Big track, big speeds. Advantages and disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages when you crash, you're normally not coming back because you're going so daggone fast when you hit something. So, but yeah, like I said, when 24 guys start, you want to see all 24 finish. You want it to go that way, but. Doesn't always work that way. It didn't tonight, but I'm sure Rick Laubach's happy with the way it went. So, oh yeah, I'm sure he is. And Buffalino was another one who ran top 10 most of the night, and he dropped out at the end there. So, but tonight was the end of the 5/8, the end of an era. But it's still going to be a racetrack next year, and under the promotion of Doug Rose. And as sad as we are to see the 5/8 go, I'm pretty excited about what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's like I said. Anybody who's talked to Doug Rose about his plans for next year and what he's got going on, I don't have any reason not to believe in him and what he's going to do for the place. Like I said, as soon as I saw the article and saw Lawrenceburg Speedway, YouTube Lawrenceburg Speedway, if you haven't done that yet, do it. So you have an idea of what we're going to see next year, because if it's anything like that, this is going to be one heck of a place. And his goal is to make it the place to be in the Northeast, not just New Jersey, not just southern part of modified racing. He wants it to be the place to be. So I'm excited to see what he does, what kind of series, if we bring the World of Outlaws back, if we bring the Short Track Super Series back, all things to be determined. But I'm excited for every race we're going to have on it, because I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And one of the things I'm really excited for is moving the pits over here to the first turn. I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to give the track more of an atmosphere, and then let the drivers and fans interact more with the crews, and because they'll come in, they'll obviously walk through the midway here to get things, and people will talk, and it's like that at other tracks. In Bridgeport, it's on the other side of the track, it's pretty much set apart.
Yeah. There's a front of the track and back of the track right now, and Doug wants to change that. I do think there are things logistically, if you're parked way down there, if you're parked far away, and you got to sit up here, if your guy gets a flat tire or something, it can be tough. So I think logistically there are things to figure out, but I've talked to Doug. I'm sure he's got plans to figure it out, and like I said, I no reason not to. That's something to be excited. I'm just excited about the racetrack because I think it's going to be so much different than anything we have here or anything we have in the Northeast. I think it's going to be its own animal, and I can't wait to see it. So that's what I'm just excited for the racetrack. So.
Yeah, me too. We had a good. And we're joined here by the pimp, Danny Serrano. What are your thoughts?
I didn't even drink yet. What's the question?
What do you know? Last race in the 5/8. You've been coming since you were a kid,
Yeah.
just like I have. Chris is still young.
Yeah.
I still am a kid, yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the final race here?
I thought the race was a decent race. I guess I'm kind of glad to see Rick win, a longtime supporter, track champ, top 5 all-time wins here, right?
Fifth.
Yeah.
52
So,
now, 52.
he went from dragging me down the straightaway to ended history. So, no, congrats. I was glad Rick won for his mom and stuff. So, good for him. And it was a good race, him and Jeff. And finally, Rick went to the top. We call him a bottom feeder all the time. But no, it's good. And everybody's asking me the same questions, what I think. And listen, it's good now, and it can only get better. So everybody's got to give it a chance. And I'm excited and a little sad, but I'm also excited. I'm not just saying that. I mean it. So we're ready, man. And everybody's worried. Well, what if this? What if that? There's a lot of what ifs, but that's how you have time to make it better.
And that's sort of, I talked to a lot of drivers before the races, and that was sort of the basic sentiment from every driver. Sad, but they're looking forward, and they all think Doug will do a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Doug's got the best interests of racing involved, in his head. So, and when's the last time we get a new track? It's like that doesn't happen.
Like a year ago on the 3/8 now.
Yeah, I mean, Bridgeport's offering 2 new tracks in the last couple of years. So, there's not many new tracks coming along. So. Like we said, I'm excited, and it's gonna be a long but a quick winter. So we'll be back here in March, and hopefully we're ready to rock. And I know all the big equipment's coming in on Tuesday, so we're ready.
One thing I would say for Doug Rose is Speedway management and Speedway promotion is his living now. That's how he's puts food on the table. So he's not just, this isn't just something he's winging and hoping goes well. This is how he's going to feed his son and his wife. So he's going to put everything he has into it to make it the best that it can be. So I you know what I mean. He's not doing this on a whim. He firmly believes in it and what this place is going to be. So I'm excited, like you, to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to be part of it, and Dirt Track Digest will be here to cover the opener here. And once again, the 5/8 finale. Congratulations to Rick Laubach on his big win. And I'm Ken Bruce, Dirt Track Digest. This is Chris Moore, the announcer. Danny Serrano, the racetrack promoter.
What a fool. What a fool.
And we'll see you on down the road.
All right. We'll see everybody March 28th, 29th of 2020.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Thanks for your help, buddy.
Thanks, Kenny.
All right.